an entrepreneur, is there really an off button? You're constantly pushing to get more and more. It is very, very tiring. Today, we are getting real because we are discussing the highs and lows of entrepreneurship. I think that with this new era that we're in, a lot of entrepreneurs make entrepreneurship look super lavish and I don't want to use the word easy, but for a lack of better terms, easy, when in reality, there are highs and lows that come with entrepreneurship, just like there are highs and lows that come with anything else. And so it wouldn't be right for me to just continue to like sell this dream of entrepreneurship without giving you the real nitty gritty. So today I have written down 5 highs and 5 lows that I am going to share with you. And these are things that I've experienced on my entrepreneurship journey. And you are welcome to let me know if you experience these things too. Now, before we dive in, I have to say, hey, I am Chanel, the brand hustler. And this is a channel created for all of my hustle babes that are interested in gaining insight on the entrepreneur journey while learning essential marketing and business tips for their brand. So if that sounds like you, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and join the Hustle Babe community. So let's dive right into this video, shall we? I got my little iPad here, okay? I had my iPad mini for so long, and before then I had another iPad, and I still have it, but it's locked, but I haven't used it to like the full potential as far as business goes. I use it for a lot of leisure. So I started using it, you know, I became a little iPad girly. So I got my notes on here for my video. So let's get started. The first pro of entrepreneurship, and possibly the biggest pro to me, is the freedom that you get once you become an entrepreneur. And when I say become an entrepreneur, I'm not talking about like a side type of entrepreneur. I'm speaking about full-time entrepreneurship. So when you step into full-time entrepreneurship, there's this freedom that you unleash because you can pretty much work when you want and where you want without having a boss over your shoulder, right? So you don't have to ask for time off. You don't have to ask to work from home. Heck, you can go to a coffee shop or the park or a different country and work whenever you want. You are on no one else's time. And this was a big pro for me because I love traveling. I've been traveling since I was younger. I travel with my mom and my mom's side of the family, and I would go on a trip at least once a year. And this was while I was in grade school. So once I actually could afford to take myself on trips, I didn't want to stop that tradition. I wanted to start traveling on my own. Once I met my now husband, I wanted to introduce him to parts of the world and things like that. And so traveling is super important to me, and it was important to me to have that freedom because when I was in my 9-to-5, I was counting days, and a lot of times those days never added up to the amount of vacation that I wanted to take. I am not a 2-night, 3-day vacation type of girl. I am a give me a full week vacation type of girl, and I couldn't have that in corporate America. So once I stepped into full-time entrepreneurship, freedom was one of the things that I absolutely love and adore about it. The low of that is that you never really stop working, right? So yes, you can work from anywhere and whenever you want, but as an entrepreneur, is there really an off button? There are times where I find myself trying to enjoy something else, like personal, family, friend related, and my brain won't turn off. Like my brain is always on go. It's always on entrepreneurship mode. It does not matter. Not only that, but because of the type of work that I do as a brand strategist, my brain works a certain way. So I see certain things and I'm like, that's interesting. I love the brand story behind that. Or I wonder why they chose this these colors or this look. Like my brain is literally always on go, and that is one of the lows of entrepreneurship, is that your brain is probably always going to be on go, or you're going to need to work a lot of the time. And so even though you have this newfound freedom where you don't have a boss per se, or you don't need to clock in or clock out or work at a certain place, your brain is on overdrive because you are the force behind your business. The second high that I want to share is obviously money. What I love about entrepreneurship is that there's no real limit to the amount of money that you can make. Now, I know that hearing that, you're probably like, girl, what? Like, I've been struggling to make sales. What do you mean there's no limit to the amount of money you can make? And I know, I get it, right? But honestly, when you think about it, you can decide to shoot for 6 figures if you wanted to. You can decide to shoot for 50K if you wanted to. You can decide to shoot for 250K if you wanted to, right? And as long as you put in the strategy, the work, you build the team, and whatever else you need to do to get to that goal, you almost can guarantee that you can get there. The only thing stopping you from getting to a certain goal is the fact that either you lack strategy, you lack effort, you maybe lack a proper budget to push certain things forward, or maybe you lack time. Once you actually align those things, you get the time, you get the money, you have the strategy. It's all about just putting in the effort and seeing the goal through. And that's something that has shown up in my business time and time again. For me, it's a huge pro because in my 9 to 5, my last position that I held, my salary was $45,000 a year. Right now in my business, I've been in business about 3 years and I've made about $750,000. So that's about $750,000, right? And so when I think about my salary, if I multiply 45,000 by 3, let's give them some extra to say maybe they gave me like a bonus or a promotion or something like that. I may have been at $150,000 for my salary within 3 years versus $750,000 where I'm at in my business. Now, of course, I don't get to keep all of that. I have software I use, I have people that I pay, I have all these things, but even with the percentage that I keep, I still make like double and sometimes triple what I would have made in corporate America. So money is definitely a huge high when it comes to entrepreneurship. A low of entrepreneurship is that money can be this constant thing that you're pushing to achieve. You're constantly pushing to get more and more and more. And I think that with entrepreneurship, especially when you are a quote unquote small business owner, right? It can be easy for you to just push yourself to the limit all the time, and you can get burnt out so fast because you're pushing to try to get this fast result. When in reality, bigger corporations, they grow by a small percentage like each year. And even then, sometimes their goal is just to maintain, and it's not even to grow. And the percentage which they grow is so minuscule. And when you look at small business owners, you're seeing people go from maybe 50,000 one year to 100K in a year, in another year, right? That's incredible. You just 2 times yourself, or go from 100K to like $1 million. That's crazy. You just 10 times yourself. And in corporate America, these corporations are going for maybe 1% increase or 2% increase. And so when I compare the percentages to small business owners, we push ourselves so much because we want to double, we want to triple year after year, and it honestly leads to burnout. And that's in all aspects, right? Not just money. I see that happening in growth in other areas, whether it's the growth of an email list, growth of social media platforms, whatever it may be. And it's so important to just take it day by day. My biggest lesson moving into March is that I need to take small, consistent steps. Something that I noticed about myself, and probably you may notice too about yourself, is that I always go with these intense kind of spurts, but I don't last that long because I end up burning myself out. And so for me, I think it's important that I focus on the long-term consistency versus the short-term intensity. This is something that we actually talked about a little bit within my membership club when we did the TikTok challenge. So we posted once a day for 14 days straight on TikTok. Normally you'll see challenges where they're like, we gotta post 3 times a day on TikTok for a full month. And that's good, but that's insane. And so the point of the challenge was to just do something small each and every day to build that consistency, to learn what we liked, what we didn't like, and then I encouraged the members to develop their own cadence based off of the results of that. So we had some members who they were like, okay, I can only do 3 times a week on TikTok. That's fine. As long as you stick to that cadence and you do those steps over and over so that you're consistent with it at your own pace, you're going to see results from it. That challenge opened up my eyes. We did the challenge in February and it opened up my eyes to other areas in my business and other areas in my life that I felt like I needed to take small yet consistent steps forward. The third high of entrepreneurship is you run the dang show, okay? So you are head honcho. You are the CEO, you are the team lead, you're the creative director, you are literally everything. Now, obviously when you hire a team, you have people who have positions, but you're the creative genius that put that team together. That power team, that fire team, you are the creative genius behind that. There's no better feeling than knowing that you've allowed people to meet new people that they never met before, like within your team. There's no better feeling than knowing that you put this star lineup of people together that are achieving great things. There is no greater feeling to me. But the low of that is that everything falls on you, especially when you're the face of your brand. Everything falls on you as long as you remain the CEO and all of these different positions within your business. Everything falls on you. You will always feel guilty if you didn't achieve a certain goal, even if it had nothing to do with you and it had something to do with somebody else's position. You will always feel guilty when someone wants to quit your team, right? You will always feel guilty, heck, when you're taking a break for your personal life and maybe a customer's order needs to be sent out and maybe you've worked 3 months straight with no break and you decide to take a weekend off finally. You're still gonna feel guilty because everything kind of falls on you. And I know there's some ways that you can get around that, like, yeah, build a team that's autonomous and yeah, like put certain systems in place. But at the end of the day, because you are the person who created this machine, your brain is not going to just be like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm relaxing. Everything's taken care of. It's fine. Heck, on my honeymoon, I was still thinking about all the things that my team members should have done. Was I actively working on my honeymoon? No, not really, but still, my brain was still worried in certain aspects. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I am the showrunner, if that makes sense. Honestly, I said that freedom was the best one, but this one is probably the best. This one is the best, or they're tied. Freedom and this one is tied because you get to help people as an entrepreneur. As an entrepreneur that is like living out their purpose, you are going to notice that your impact is felt around the world. Your products or your services that you provide people with, it's solving problems, it's enriching their lives, it's improving like their livelihood in some way. And it's just an amazing feeling to know that you're this one person that had this idea and went after their dream and made the idea happen, and now you're changing lives around the world. Whether that's clearing up people's skin or helping someone lose weight or helping someone look and feel their best, heck, or helping someone build a brand so that way they can make money and send their kids off to their dream school or take trips or whatever the case may be. Like, you are actually helping people, and that is a great feeling to know. Even when you think about like building a team and you're putting food on people's tables, like, it's insane. It is an insane feeling. Just, it's incredible, honestly. When you sit back and you think about all the things that you've done within your entrepreneurship journey, in the moment, it can seem so minuscule, like as you're living out your day to day. But when you sit back and you reflect on all that you have done along your entrepreneurship journey, all of the products or the services or whatever it is that you provide, all the things that you've put out there, all the testimonials and reviews that you've gotten back, all the kind words, it's just such a warm and fuzzy feeling to know that you've helped so many people and that your impact is felt around the world. But a low is that you can become overwhelmed with keeping up with what's trending, keeping up with social media, keeping up with the changes of the world. It can be demanding, it can be overwhelming, and the reason you want to keep up with these things is you want to know how to best serve your audience. You want to know that the product you're about to release or the service you're about to provide is something that is needed right now. And the only way for you to know that is to continuously research within your industry to know what people want, what's next up, what's trending, all the things, right? And then the way that you reach them, you know, in some ways, a lot of it is through social media. And so when social media changes, for you to stay ahead of the curve, you have to learn all these new techniques, or you have to learn this new feature to be able to capitalize on it. And it can just be very overwhelming to keep up with that while maintaining the back end of your business, while still providing the most value to your customers or your clients, and while still having a personal life. It can be super overwhelming. And last but not least, there's a low that comes with entrepreneurship that's kind of like an overarching low, and that is that it can be tiring. Entrepreneurship can be tiring emotionally, physically, because you have to put forth a certain amount of energy all the time. You have to put forth a certain attitude all the time. You just have to be a lot of things. You wear a lot of hats as an entrepreneur, especially in the small business space. And it is very, very tiring. I don't say that to scare you, but it's tiring. It's not meant for everyone. If you are the type that you love being able to clock out and just chill at home and not do anything for 10 whole days, entrepreneurship is probably not for you. If you're the person that after working hard at something for a few weeks, you're ready to give up, entrepreneurship is probably not for you. If you are a person who you take things to heart all of the time, entrepreneurship is probably not for you either. Entrepreneurship can be very draining, very tiring, but the plus side of it all is it's super rewarding. All of the highs that come with entrepreneurship outweigh the lows. I wouldn't be able to live the life I live, afford the things I have, make the connections that I've had without entrepreneurship. I have met some incredible people because I'm an entrepreneur through events and networking spaces and groups and all these things, but I've also been able to afford things that I wouldn't have even imagined. Things that back in the day I used to think was super expensive and out of reach. I am able to afford certain things and afford a certain lifestyle, and I'm able to take the trips I want and do all the things. So all in all, it is a super rewarding experience despite the lows that come with entrepreneurship. But it was important for me to still share those lows with you. I don't want you to think that entrepreneurship is this picture perfect scene or zone that you will be able to step into. No, there are highs and lows with entrepreneurship, just like there are highs and lows with anything else. And I don't share this video with you to like scare you away from entrepreneurship, but more so to just for it to be eye-opening to you and for you to like just know what it comes with so you can be fully prepared. Now, if you're already an entrepreneur and maybe you're experiencing some of these lows right now, I just want you to know that it's a roller coaster. It will get better, and you definitely want to surround yourself with like-minded people who can be that motivational push for you at times when you're feeling down. You know, join a community, get some business besties or something like that. My membership community, the eHustle Club, is open for you if you want to check it out. I'll leave the link in my description box. It is an amazing place for people who want to build a brand and they want to build powerful brands while becoming the best entrepreneur, wife, girlfriend, mom, everything that they possibly can be. We work on your mindset. We work on, you know, business strategies, brand building especially, and just focusing on you overall as a person. So if you're interested in that, definitely check that out. Check out the eHustle Club. The link will be in my description box. I hope that this video was helpful to you, insightful or something. If it was, comment down below and let me know which of these you've experienced, or let me know if I missed a high or a low of entrepreneurship, okay? So comment down below, give this video a like, make sure that you subscribe, and follow me on Instagram and on TikTok at The Brand Hustler, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, hustle babe.